Hi, this is Tom Bown from TVLincoln and we're at the Renew Involvement Centre in Lincoln. I'm here with Andrew Harrison at the Renew Involvement Centre in Lincoln. Andrew, can you give us a little bit of the history of the Renew Involvement Centre and what sort of groups it supports?
Yeah, we've been going about 7.5 years, 8 years now. Initially, we were open just at weekends. Now we're open 7 days a week. The main drop-in is for anybody, but it has a kind of mental health focus, but anybody can come. We also provide a kind of umbrella for other groups that come here. So that could be the epilepsy support group, the bipolar group, there's environmental groups, there's people with learning disabilities, any community group can come here.
So does the Renew Involvement Centre provide support for several vulnerable groups in Lincoln?
Yeah, I think so. Various groups are here and they have their own sense of identity and their own sort of mission, what they get up to. The specific one that I'm most involved in, which is the drop-in, I'd say mainly it's social support. I think there's a lot of practical stuff goes on. We do have people dropping in. We do have people doing advocacy. I was just this morning talking to somebody who was in a very bad way. Turned out that actually her background is a lawyer. So I was thinking, well, maybe you'd like to come in and do some volunteering here and maybe do some law issues. Within that context, a lot of other people say, this keeps them going. This has made the difference for them. They no longer use mainstream services, for instance, some people. They'd rather come here. People can choose when they come here. They're not referred, they're not discharged. That is their choice. Another person said something to me once, which I thought was, not bizarre, but interesting. They said they like to know it's here. The main one, I think, is the social support. I think that a lot of people feel isolated, a lot of people feel misunderstood, and this really helps in that area.
So where does your main financial support come from?
The main financial support comes from people coming through the door and paying for teas and coffees. So basically people just pay £1 and that gives them unlimited tea and coffee on the day. Occasionally, as I say, some people make donations. At the moment I'm involved in a sponsored losing weight competition. So I'm ahead by about 150 at the moment because I've lost about £23 since we started. So little ideas like that.
If people want to come in and use the centre, what's the best time for them to come in?
The best time, which we really try to keep open, is the core time between 1 and 3. And that's every day. We are open longer on a Saturday, which is 12 to 4. But if you think 1 to 3, you should get it. There isn't a cost to come in. So it's open, as I say, just walk in. And again, somebody will be here to meet you and go through all the practical things. And as I say, it should be relatively straightforward and friendly.
So if people want to help out at the centre, what should they do?
I mean, the most important thing is to sort of come in and become a member. Anybody who uses the centre has to sort of join. So that's whether for this group or for any of the other groups. And that kind of covers us. If somebody wanted to be one of the people who coordinates the service and are here, we'd ask them to hang around and check it out for a couple of weeks. But most of the time, I think people could make their own minds up based on their experience.
So what's the future for the centre?
I'd like to think we would keep going, but we are in very uncertain times. At the moment, we are on a month-by-month basis. We literally could be closed down because the council want the building or they want to sell a building or anything like that. One of the things I'd really like to do is people to, for instance, is wander in and be able to book a session with somebody who's got some basic training to just sort of do some problem solving, but not have to wait a month, 2 months, 3 months in order to see somebody. Do it on the morning. One other idea that's been talked about is providing a helpline, and again you might be able to run that from here, or overnight do some support because a lot of people, their worst time is night time. It's not during the day. So there's a lot of ideas around that sort of thing, but at the moment there's so much uncertainty we can't make any long-term plans, and that is a bit of a problem.
Okay, Andrew Harrison, thanks very much for talking to me.
Thank you.